Hello everybody, welcome to our final ranking of rides and attractions at a Disney theme park. Now before we start the ranking, I do have to say I'm not going to be ranking Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway or Rise the Resistance since I did not get on either of those. They were not opened when I went. With that out of the way, let's jump into the ranking. When Toy Story Mania is at the bottom of your list, you know that the park itself is going to have the best of the best, because Toy Story Mania is great. I do have to say that the queue here for Toy Story Mania is leaps and bounds better than the one in California. To me, it enhances the entire experience of the ride, and honestly, it makes a little bit more sense. I understand it's supposed to be Midway Mania in California, but here you are actually in, like, Andy's room. Like, you're shrunk down to the size of a toy. It feels so real, and the colors are vibrant. The props are amazing. It makes one of the greatest queue atmospheres I've ever seen. Star Tours is great. I mean, it's not exactly my favorite ride, but it's pretty good. I think that, most of the show scenes get reused, which I do have a little bit of a complaint about, but you know what? It's a fun enough ride. And here, Star Tours is really cool as the queue, it really embodies Episode 6, Return of the Jedi as you enter Endor. It's a really, really cool thing, and I really love it. The way that they've brought everything together, it's really great. Now, Jim Henson is a legend. He will be forever a legendary figure to me. Muppet Vision 3D is his final work of art. This was the final thing that Jim Henson ever got to work on, which is why it is so sad and devastating to many of us as it goes away permanently. I really do hope that Disney will preserve this in some way, shape, or form. Reinstituting it in California would be amazing, or just moving that show building to somewhere else in Hollywood Studios would make a lot of sense. Maybe right next to the rehall of Rock and Roller Coaster, where the Muppets will also be. Now, I grew up with Kermit, Sam the Eagle, the Swedish Chef, and the two older men that make fun of everybody. I also grew up with Bert and Ernie, which Jim Henson helped design. Sesame Street, he helped on that show. And I grew up with Yoda, who also Jim Henson had a heavy hand in. So Muppet Vision 3D is very near and dear and special to me. I grew up with the Muppet movies. Later, I would watch some of their TV shows, including the original. Muppet Vision 3D is a really lighthearted and fun show that I do love to watch. It brings to life the Muppets in a new and fun way, and it's great. Fantasmic is a great show that I actually never experienced at Disneyland. It's really fun here at Disney World. In fact, I think it's a little better over here because they have a much, much larger arena and show stage for this. And to me, Fantasmic is a fantastic show that really does feel larger than life at sometimes. Fantasmic stars Mickey and his pals along with a lot of the other Disney characters. When I watched it, they had a large sequence with Pocahontas, which I really did enjoy. It's a pretty cool and fun show, and I highly recommend it. Now, the Millennium Falcon itself is one of the coolest things to ever enter and see in real life. Like, the videos and pictures do not do it justice. It is a massive, massive thing in real life. The ride is pretty fun and great. It's an interesting simulation system that works far better than Star Tours. It feels a little bit like Star Tours, but more interactive and very much so a better ride system and ride to capture you in. I really enjoyed the ride. It was fun. I was in awe and wonder and entranced at the amazing Falcon itself. So, pretty great ride. Now, as somebody who grew up on Indiana Jones, I absolutely loved every single second of this show. This is a show that I actually almost did not go and watch, but the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular was seriously amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. It is amazing. It has some of the most iconic moments from Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is great. I absolutely love that part of this. I loved every single part of this, including the fact that the auditorium was jam-packed when I went to go and watch it, which meant there was a lot of Indiana Jones fans or just fans of the show. Like, this is a great show. If you've never even seen Indiana Jones, it's great to go and see. You'd be entertained. It's funny. It has the action. It has it all. And I hope that they never have to get rid of this, because this is seriously one of the coolest things that they do at Hollywood Studios. Now, entering the top 3 is a very special ride to me. Rod Serling's Twilight Zone still lives on at Hollywood Studios through the Tower of Terror. I'm a huge fan of the Twilight Zone, and I think that everybody should actually give this series a chance in their lives. Sure, it uses science fiction and horror to convey heavy ideas of social and political opinions, which sometimes really test you, the viewer, to think or rethink what you've thought, which makes this show, of course, amazing and great, but it's also a very charming and haunting show to a certain degree. It's very interesting to me because I used to watch a good bit of old TV, and this of course is old TV with the black and white everything. I mean, it was made in the 1960s, and it really does echo that time. It's a very great show, but as for the ride, it is one of the most thrilling and best rides. I used to get on it all the time at California. However, I will say here, the tower is actually a little bit different. The system of the ride is just a bit different, where they actually push your elevator thing onto like some sort of a track system, and it locks you into a second tower, which is very interesting. I believe also the layout of the tower is a little bit different, and on the exterior, it looks more haunting and creepy in Florida, which is great. And even though this does of course fit California a lot more, it still is pretty great to see it at Florida, which was great to get on again. Rock and Roller Coaster with Aerosmith is one of the coolest rides that Disney has ever made. I know I say that about a lot of these rides, but man, this is seriously one of the coolest ones. And in the last video, I said that there was a more Six Flags-esque ride, and this is it. This ride launches you at 60 miles an hour within 2 seconds, and it goes into an inverted loop while blasting Walk This Way on max volume in your ears. This is one of honestly the coolest rides that I've ever been on, and I think it's a huge deal that Aerosmith is involved with it. If it was any other generic band or a lesser band, I think that this entire ride would kind of fail in concept, but since it's a legendary band like Aerosmith, and since they're blasting epic rock and roll, it really works. And sure, it's a little bit of a strange concept with the limo and everything, but hey, it's pretty great, and it's definitely better than the other limo ride being Superstar Limo. At our number 1 spot, we have none other than the Slinky Dog Run. This is one of those rides that I got on and didn't know what to expect. Even though I could see the track, I didn't really know if I was going to enjoy it, but this was a pleasant ride to get on. There's a reason this is almost always a 90 to 100-minute wait. This is a great ride. It feels like the Mine Train in many ways, where it's a smooth coaster, although there's not really show scenes here. It's just an outdoor fun coaster. I guess at the end you have Wheezy singing to you, which is amazing to echo Toy Story 2. I think that it's great. And honestly, I think it works really well in this land, how they've designed the land. I think it works for the entire IP of Toy Story, and as a Toy Story fan, it's just very fun to be in that land. It's very playful and fun and vibrant, and this ride in particular is a fun, smooth, and calm thrill ride that feels like a little bit less rough version of Big Thunder, more like the Mine Train, as I said. Well, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed this entire series. It's been a really fun run, and I'm happy that you all stuck through it with me. Peace out and goodbye for now, my friends.